Hello, how are you? I really need to talk. I don't know if I talked a little bit about, I think I probably did, happened in Germany after or during still the Second World War. I don't know if I talked about the firestorms that the United States and England created in Germany. Today is the 80th anniversary of a firestorm close to my hometown in Germany called Pforzheim. Pforzheim was and still is a jewelry, it's a little jewelry city. Was during the Second World War, Third Reich, and is still today. It's like, well, that's all I'm going to say. And again, 80 years ago is when the war, Second World War, was already determined. I believe even Germany gave up already. But the war was determined. Really, there was a finality of the war. And yet, the Allies, or let's say the Americans and the Brits, continue to bomb German cities. Not too long ago was 80 years of Dresden's bombing, where they also started this, it's a firestorm. They calculated how much fire they had to put into a city to burn it to crisp. And of course, along with burning the whole city to crisp is burning the people to crisp. Yeah, you can find a lot of documentaries today about the bombing of, or aftermath of the bombing of Hamburg and Dresden and different cities. This little city called Pforzheim, like I said, was not too far away from Stuttgart. It's between actually Stuttgart and the place where I grew up. My mother told me that all my life. She was about 12 years old, and they saw what happened. She said it was a nice day. It was cold, but a nice day, clear day. And I believe the Americans were responsible for destroying the city. She said first they came, and she calls them little Christmas trees. They put little Christmas trees up in the sky to mark the spot. And they saw that very clearly, how they put the little Christmas trees up. I guess they were burning signs in the sky to mark the spot where they had to bomb. And then the bombers came in and threw the bombs. The whole city was destroyed. They used, I don't know why, they used phosphorus. Don't know. They used phosphorus. People would be running to the little river called Inns, burning, and the fire wouldn't put them out. They were still burning in the water because of phosphorus. There was not one factory there that would create or make military, equipment. Only like I said, jewelry was done there. So there was not a strategic reason why that city had to be bombed. There were civilian people there. Of course, most people, most men, to probably the last 16-year-old, were already pulled to war. So really no reason. I also had a acquaintance, my mother's age, that was actually pulled there. He was a first aid person, and he was also describing, when I was a little kid, what happened there. It must have been an unbelievable scene, just like it is in, or was in, most cities. Worst part in my family was that my great cousin, I think it was my great cousin, yeah. So it's the daughter of my grandfather's sister, was born in that night, during that night. Yeah. My mother told me that today. I talked to her today, and she says, yeah, I have to call so-and-so, because today is her birthday. I know that family very well because I actually was born in that house where she was born as well. I was also born there. So yeah, always, many times I see them when I come to Germany. But things connect me still with that time. And people, it is very sad. Very sad. Yeah, I knew about it because my mother kept telling me about these things. She told us a lot about what they went through. And it's very sad. It's very sad. Oh yeah, I think I did mention this in connection with what J.D. Vance did in Germany, put down a wreath in Dachau, but then put down the German politicians for, censoring people. I'm absolutely agreeing with him on the censoring part. I think the German politicians are absolutely heavy-handed right now. But again, as you know, I believe in the deep state that's behind both parties. And the same people that were telling German politicians to be heavy-handed are now the ones that are giving Vance the okay to say that they are not democratic. Same people. Germany has never been really free. There is no peace treaty with Germany. They are still, under the thumb of the Allies. Our section, the section that I lived in, is American. Germany was divided into, I think, 4 sections, or more even. And my section that I lived in was American, and I always thought, hey, that was the best thing, that we were American, but I'm not sure. At this point, you would think Germany should get their freedom and independence, but oh no, they're not getting their freedom or independence, but they can pay. I see it over and over in the news, even these, alternative news, right? Oh, constantly picking on Germany. Germany never has been free. Never had really a democracy. Oh yeah, it looks like right now today they had actually votes. I had an election today. because their parties are just doing such a bad job that they have to do extra voting, extra elections, because I don't know how a party can go bankrupt. I don't see it. But people are not very happy. So, anyways, again, German politicians are influenced even now by the Americans. J.D. Vance and who was the other guy? Musk, Elon Musk. We're talking already to this, it's called FDP party, trying to help them win. Sure, yeah. We're screaming if somebody would, influence any of our candidates, right? We would be screaming, oh, no, 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 no. Can you imagine if Putin would come to Trump and talk to Trump before the elections? Well, that's exactly what happened. J.D. Vance and, Elon Musk talking to this one party, right? And you don't think they are interested in influencing them? Yeah, but, oh no, that would not happen in the United States. That would be just not democratic, would it? But in Germany, they can do that. Which is showing me that Germany is still under the thumb of the US. Where else in the world can that happen? People, I had to talk about this. It should be out there in all the world. I know they did, Redacted, for instance, did a good report on Dresden and the firebombing of Dresden. I think that was good. But see, all these cities were firebombed around this time, at the end of the war. The war was already over. And yeah, it's when they threw all the bombs into these cities. I'm glad these things are coming out, and they should have came out a long time ago. 80 years? I would think 80 years is enough. 80 years is enough for everything. Title is Never Again. Yeah, never again. Where do we hear this? Where have we heard that for the past 80 years, every year, and over and over and over? Never again. Have we heard that once for the firebombing of German cities? No, not once. Not once. Oh yeah, Germany lost the war. Germans are still brainwashed to believe, oh, we caused this devastation in other countries, so why would we not get the same thing? Yeah, that's what I'm hearing from Germans. Really? Really? German civilian people who had nothing to do with starting the war, they deserve that they are bombed out. Germany didn't do that with any of the other cities. Okay, yes, they did bomb somewhat England, but they didn't firebomb it. They didn't just relentlessly bomb and burn down London. Oh yeah, they did. Oh yeah, there was oh yeah, they could bomb London. Oh, and so, all the stuff they did, sent the kids in the countryside and so on and so on. You know what? Nobody in Germany could send their kids in the countryside. Because guess what? They were not warned. They were not warned. No, they were already devastated. They were already people. At the end of the war, people were hungry. They didn't have food, especially people in the city. Food was scarce. The German people were at the end. That's why when they liberated the concentration camps, people were starving there too. Why? Because even the people in the cities were starving. The German people were starving. They didn't have food. They didn't have medicine. Everything went to the soldiers. That's how it looked in Germany at the end of the war. They were done. Germany was done. Germany was done, people. And when they were almost dead, oh, we will kick them more. We will make sure, that everything is going to be devastated. Do you know there was a plan actually to really eliminate Germans from this face of the earth? Yeah, there was. There's another thing about, the German soldiers that came back from the war. Americans put them, actually all the Allies put them into concentration camps, really, without buildings, without anything. Starving them and keeping water away from them. Local people that tried to help them, give them food, they were imprisoned. I think that place, if you want to look it up, Rheinwiesen, concentration camp. Rheinwiesen, like the Rhine River, Rheinwiesen, concentration camp. Maybe you can find it if you put it in. That's when they killed a whole bunch of German soldiers after the war. Yes, Americans did that. I think the Americans were the worst. Until finally somebody in government said, hey, enough is enough. You can find a lot of information on that too. No, we don't want to talk about that. Nobody screams never again about that. Never again. Nobody. Why? Because, we can just ignore that. But oh no, we have to hear about the Holocaust over and over and over and over, and even after 80 years, we still have to hear it. Who are you going to let it hear? Who are you going to make feel guilty? A generation today that has nothing to do with it. I didn't have anything to do with it. I just told you my mother was 12 years old when the war was over. My father was 15 years old. My grandma was telling me that, and my dad too, probably. They were hiding him. Because at the end of the war, they will even pull 15-year-olds. Because they ran out of soldiers. They hid him. Yes. I don't know if you know, and I have to say that, many of you know Eric Carle, the little hungry caterpillar. He was writing books, children's books. I think people should know him. Little Hungry Caterpillar and other books. Really nice, wonderful children books. He was actually in Germany at the time. He was German-American. His parents left Germany under the Third Reich, or before the Third Reich. And then the relatives said, come back, we're doing better. And so they came back at the end of the Third Reich. So Eric Carle, I'm not so sure if he was born in the States, but he was German-American. So he came back with his parents. He had to go, interestingly, He had to go to the war still, because he was just 16 at the end, and dig trenches. Then he came back after the war to the United States, and because he was American as well, he had to then join the army, and he was sent back to Germany to live again in his little town, or Stuttgart. And it's interesting to see these things, you know. Fought in the German war, then had to fight as an American soldier. War is really mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Again, you know, I got married to an American soldier. I'm from Germany. I had my dad coming over visiting us in the States, and we told him to come and participate in one of the military celebrations, and my dad recognized the day was D-Day, and he started crying. He had to leave. And I said, well, what's going on? He said, well, my dad died during D-Day, or because of D-Day. I lost one of my grandfathers in France. Didn't want to go to war. Of course not. I lost one of my other grandfathers outside Danzig. Coming back from, he was wounded coming back from Russia, the Russian front. He was put on a Red Cross ship because he was wounded at the East Sea. And all those ships were bombed by the Russians, U-boats. Ships that had a Red Cross on it. They were full of wounded people and probably people that were fleeing homeland, fleeing from the homeland, from the Russians. Children again, and women. Never again, people, never again. The devastation of these people fleeing in the middle of the winter. We have February, right now. These people are fleeing in February in the middle of a cold, cold, cold winter. Maybe do some research on that. Especially the women had to be afraid to be raped. Very devastating. Can anybody imagine that? Any Americans imagine that? No, they don't know. They don't know. They did not experience the war. Germans experienced some very horrible, horrible things during that war. A lot of drama was created. A lot of trauma. And Germans really still live with it because it's passed on from generation to generation. My generation, of course, didn't experience it, but we got the drama from our parents because our parents lived the drama. And so we not only heard it, but we got affected by it. War is a horrible thing, and I think Americans, sorry to say that, well, no, sorry, maybe they're lucky. They haven't had to experience that. And maybe that's why they don't really think about it. I don't know. Germans don't think about it. Look what they're doing in Ukraine. I mean, I would think Germans are the ones that should scream, no more war. But what do they do? No. So fast. I mean, we forget things so fast. How horrible war can be. I feel the pain, the empathy. I guess I have empathy. And how many people don't even have empathy today? But I feel the pain and the suffering people go through these war-stricken areas. Civilians, children, women that have nothing to do with it. Nothing. You know, that's why I feel for the people in Gaza. I feel for any people. I don't care, Gaza or Israel. It doesn't matter. If a government starts a war, then yeah, the people will get the crap. But again, these people have nothing to do with it, really. Especially not the children, especially, unfortunately, I don't want to say the women. And many men, too. They don't want it. Both of my grandfathers did not want to join the war. They didn't want to go in the war. But people, if they would have not gone, they would have picked them up, thrown them in jail, and maybe killed them. That's how things are. Yes, I shouldn't say innocent men, innocent women and children. Men are just as innocent. How many men want to go to war? How many? Very, very few. Very few. Innocent young children, 18-year-olds, laying in trenches or wherever they are, had no interest in shooting anybody, scared to death. Why can we as humankind not say never again and really do it? Why can we not? Why can we not do it? Why can we not say never again to all wars? Pretty bad, isn't it? When we are so callous that we cannot say that as a humankind. You know that my channel is about end times prophecy. If you knew, of course you don't know that. And are we surprised if God is about to had it? We shouldn't be surprised. I'm surprised that God lasted this long. I'm surprised God has watched this long. The killing of and spilling of innocent blood. What does Isaiah 26:21 say? The earth cannot conceal the blood any longer. And that's actually, if you read the verses before that, talk about the rapture. The resurrection first, and then, of course, the rapture. Because those people that are still alive will be also taken out. They will be going to their rooms. Yeah, read Isaiah 26:19 through 21. That's the resurrection that many people deny. Oh, wait a minute. They don't deny the resurrection. They just deny the rapture. So what is going to happen to those people that are still alive? Of course, they're going to be transformed in a twinkling of an eye, and they will be with the Lord too. Yes, it's going to happen. Because God had enough. God had enough. Yeah. Never again now. Unfortunately, even when Jesus established his kingdom here on earth, it's not going to be never again, because again, even after 1,000 years, humankind again, after 1,000 years of a glorious reign of Jesus Christ, people again will be deceived and misled and will start a war again. And I think after that, God had enough with humankind, and maybe he is realizing humankind is not capable of doing a good job. No, I don't think we can do it. You're right. I can scream all I want, never again. I can tell all the things that happen. No, people are so callous today. They have no empathy left. Or they haven't had an empathy left forever. No empathy. But oh yeah, they can scream when something happens to them. Oh yeah, we are going to go in there and we are going to. Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely, when it affects us, right? Retaliate and revenge. Yeah, we can get revenge when something happens to us. But yeah, we can do definitely things to other people instead of peacefully finding a solution. Can we find a solution peacefully? Do you think humankind is capable of finding a peaceful solution? Do you think so? Please let me know. Please let me know if you think that humankind is capable of finding a peaceful solution to these wars. I'm coming to an end. I already talked too much. People. It's sad. It's a sad, sad time. And I don't ever want to forget the things that my mother was telling me. Never. Let us never forget. I don't know if that is actually helping us to say never again. Coming to an end. People, let the Holy Spirit guide you always.